Thank you, Sarah. Well, it's a tough subject for many of us to talk about in general, the loss of a loved one. However, it's a subject that can be even more emotionally complex for the families and friends of homicide victims. On this day of remembrance for murder victims, KIMT News 3's Maureen Dudley is hearing from the Olmsted County Sheriff's Department about how cases can have a lasting impact for those left behind.
In 2007, Congress designated September 25th as the National Day of Remembrance for murder victims.
For me, the one that I'm most connected to is the Braum family, and I think about them quite often.
In that case, 16-year-old David Braum murdered his Rochester family in the late 1980s. During his career, Sheriff Torgerson has helped investigate several murder cases, and each time another case comes up, he reflects on the victims.
We always think about those victims, and of course, even our Jack Werner, our deputy Jack Werner was murdered by an individual, so we think about his family too, even in those situations.
Torgerson says law enforcement works hard to make sure victims of murder are remembered.
It's always something we talk about when we have a serious case that we start processing through and making sure that the victim is the center.
Finding answers to murder cases is not always easy, and the impact of these crimes can be widespread.
The effect on these things is so far-reaching. You just never know how that outcome of effect is going to spread throughout a community.
On this day set aside to remember murder victims, the sheriff encourages family members and friends to focus on their life and not how they died.
Remember the good times. Remember those positive times when you had good events.
In Rochester, Maureen Dudley, KIMT News 3.
The National Day of Remembrance was created by parents of children who had been killed, specifically a couple's daughter, Lisa, who was murdered in 1978.